What if I told you 1975 wasn't just about Queen or Springsteen? Tucked between the big names were one-hit wonders that gave us timeless songs before they vanished. Today, we're bringing back 10 of those forgotten hits. Some you'll know right away. Others might just surprise you. Stick around. This is 1975 like you've never heard it before. Number 1, How Long by Ace. It's one of those songs that never really left the airwaves, even if the band behind it did. Ace formed in Sheffield and were fronted by a young Paul Carrack, whose voice gave How Long its cool, effortless charm. But the track wasn't about heartbreak like everyone thought. It was about the band's bassist secretly rehearsing with another group. Betrayal, just not the romantic kind. They recorded it at Rockfield Studios in Wales, the same place Queen would soon use for Bohemian Rhapsody. Released in early 1975, it reached number 3 in the US. Then Ace faded just as quietly as they arrived. Carrack went on to sing for Squeeze, Mike Plus the Mechanics, and more. But this was his first moment. Smooth, sharp, and still unforgettable. Number 2, Fallin' in Love by Hamilton, Joe Frank, and Reynolds. Baby, baby, falling in love. I'm falling in love again. It's the kind of song that seemed to float out of every car window in the summer of '75. Hamilton, Joe Frank, and Reynolds had already tasted modest success in the early '70s, but this track was something different. I could never see what fate had planned for me. A polished slice of California soft rock, drenched in harmonies and gentle keyboard flourishes. Maybe you can't see all the things you've meant to me. The track was recorded after the band had quietly undergone a major change. Reynolds was no longer even in the group. By the time this song hit number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, Dan Hamilton and Joe Frank Corallo had brought in a new member, but kept the old name for familiarity. Baby, baby, falling in love. I'm falling in love again. The song itself was recorded at ABC Dunhill Studios in Los Angeles, a label known for its slick production and radio-ready mixes. It struck a perfect balance between sentiment and simplicity. Despite the track's success, follow-ups fizzled. No second hit ever matched its charm or momentum. But for a few months in 1975, this was the sound of falling in love, and vanishing just as quickly. Baby, baby, falling in love. I'm falling in love again. Number 3, Sky High, all over American radio, thanks to a dramatic, string-filled anthem that felt way bigger than the band behind it. Sky High blended disco-era rhythm with soft rock flair, driven by Des Dyer's soaring falsetto and a melody that stuck and climbed the charts worldwide, peaking at number 3 in the US and reaching the top 10 in over a dozen countries. Jigsaw had been around for years before this moment, but Sky High, recorded at Decca Studios in London, was... They tried to follow it up, but none of their later singles ever came close. 4, Lovin' You by Minnie Riperton. It didn't sound like anything else on the radio in 1975, noting somewhere above it all. Lovin' You began as a lullaby, something she sang to her baby daughter Maya at home. Her husband, songwriter Richard Rudolph, helped shape it into a full track, and together they recorded it at Studio M in Chicago, a quiet, modest studio that suited the song's fragile, intimate feel. And yet, that intimacy didn't stop it from becoming a worldwide phenomenon. In April 1975, Lovin' You reached number 1, carried by Riperton's 5-octave vocal range and those breathtaking high notes that became her signature. She continued making music until her untimely passing in 1979. But this song remained her defining moment, a gentle personal melody that somehow touched millions. Number 5, Magic by Fallin. It's one of those songs that seemed to follow you everywhere in 1975, on the radio, in commercials, even at school dances. Catchy, bright, and impossibly polished, Magic was a breakout moment for a band that appeared out of nowhere. Pilot formed in Edinburgh, Scotland, and consisted of seasoned musicians who had spent years behind the scenes as session players. But when they stepped into the spotlight themselves, they delivered a surprise hit that felt effortless and infectious. The track was recorded at London's legendary Abbey Road Studios, produced by Alan Parsons, whose clean, expansive sound helped give the song its shimmer. He'd just come off working with Pink Floyd, and his production made even the lightest pop feel cinematic. They released more music, but shifting tastes and lack of label support pushed them off the map. Today, their name might be forgotten, but their one hit still sounds like a perfectly bottled moment from the mid-70s. Before we dive into the next one, let's hear from you. Which of these songs do you still remember hearing on the radio? Did any of them take you back to a specific moment or place? Or maybe there's another forgotten gem from 1975 we missed? Drop your memories in the comments. We're reading all of them. Number 6, Dreamweaver by Gary Wright.
Just close my eyes again.
Few songs captured the mood of the mid-70s quite like this one. Ethereal, atmospheric, and built almost entirely on synthesizers. Dreamweaver didn't just sound different. It felt like something from another world. Gary Wright had previously played keyboard with Spooky Tooth and even contributed to George Harrison's solo albums. But it was during a trip to India, after reading a spiritual book, that Wright found the inspiration for something more introspective, a song about inner journeys, dreams, and letting go.
Help me to forget today's pain.
Back in California, he recorded Dreamweaver at the record plant in LA, using only keyboards, ARP synths, and a drum machine. No guitars.
There still may be some time.
It was one of the first pop hits to be built entirely on synthesizers, predating the synth pop wave by nearly a decade. Released in late 1975, the song climbed to number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 and became a staple of late-night radio for years to come. Number 7, Love Won't Let Me Wait by Major Harris. In the summer of 1975, slow jams didn't get much smoother than this. Soft strings, warm horns, and a falsetto that seemed to glide effortlessly through the mix. Love Won't Let Me Wait was pure Philadelphia soul at its most polished. Before going solo, Major Harris had been part of the Delphonics, one of the original Philly soul groups that helped shape the genre. When he recorded this track at Sigma Sound Studios with producer Bobby Eli, everything clicked. It was a masterclass in restraint, romantic without being rushed, passionate without trying too hard. The single shot up the charts, reaching number 5, and for Harris, it was a career-defining moment. Though he continued performing for decades, nothing ever matched the reach or impact of this one timeless track that still turns up on love song playlists nearly 50 years later. Number 8, 18 with a Bullet by Pete Wingfield.
18 with a bullet.
It wasn't flashy and it didn't sound like a typical hit, but somehow this smooth little soul track from a London session player found its way onto American radios in 1975.
Hit to click now. I'm the son of a gun.
Pete Wingfield wasn't a pop star by trade. He was a producer, a pianist, and a behind-the-scenes guy until one day he stepped up to the mic with a clever song about climbing the music charts. The result? A mellow, doo-wop inspired groove that felt both retro and quietly fresh. The real twist? The lyrics mention being number 18 with a bullet, and that's exactly where the song landed on the Billboard Hot 100. For a brief moment, the joke became reality.
18 with a bullet.
Wingfield never chased pop success again. He returned to producing and playing for others, content to let his one quirky hit speak for itself.
Be my side, baby. Be beside me.
Number 9, Poetry Man by Phoebe Snow.
'Cause your eyes, they light the night, they look right through me.
It didn't come from a big studio or a polished production team. Phoebe Snow's breakthrough was quiet, raw, and entirely her own.
You're hiding something sweet, please give it to me.
A blend of folk, jazz, and soft rock that felt unlike anything else in 1975.
You know that you don't have to go.
She recorded Poetry Man in New York City, surrounded by a small team of musicians who gave her space to breathe. The song's gentle chords and airy phrasing left room for silence, a kind of confidence that didn't need to shout. Critics praised her songwriting and vocal control, but Phoebe Snow never found another single that caught on the same way. She spent the rest of her career making music on her own terms, earning deep respect even if mainstream fame never returned.
When I am with you.
Poetry Man remains her quiet masterpiece, a song that said more by holding back than most ever could by letting go.
You're the poetry man, and you make things up.
Number 10, Don't Call Us, We'll Call You by Sugarloaf.
Say, hey, A&R, this is Mr. Rhythm and Blues.
By 1975, Sugarloaf had already tasted success once, 5 years earlier with Green-Eyed Lady. But most people didn't expect them to come back swinging with a song that openly mocked the very industry they relied on.
He said hello and put me on hold. To say the least, the cat was cold, he said.
Don't Call Us, We'll Call You was a sarcastic jab at record labels and gatekeepers, inspired by the band's own experience getting brushed off by Columbia Records.
Don't call us, child, we'll call you.
Rather than play it safe, they turned rejection into fuel and recorded the track themselves in Denver, layering it with sound effects, phone call snippets, and a sly imitation of a CBS executive. The result? A funky, biting track with a blues rock backbone and enough attitude to make it stand out. It peaked at number 9, their second and final major hit. After that, Sugarloaf quietly disappeared from the charts, but this one song left a lasting impression as a middle finger wrapped in a catchy hook. Proof that sometimes the best revenge really is a hit single.